Hello and welcome to this weather video. We got a winter weather advisory for a coastal system that's going to be rushing us tomorrow. Thought it was going to stay a little more offshore, but it's not quite as compact, and so we're going to get brushed by it. You can see here the path that this coastal system is going to be taking. We got a stalled front here, cold, very cold air off to the rest of the country there, and before I get to that, we did have a little snow today, just a coating in my area, but some areas I got a little more than that, so I'm just going to briefly go over that. Like places like in Connecticut, northern Fairfield County, close to 6 inches there. Greenwich saw 2 inches. New Haven, some of the northern parts again, 4 to 6 inches up there. This is an event mainly for those areas. Places like Bergen County as well. Places like Franklin Lakes, 3.9. Westwood, 2.5 inches. Essex County, West Caldwell, 2.8 inches. In New York City, even parts of New York City got into the snow. It was a little more eastward than we thought that heavier band was going to be. And so places like Flatbush and Brooklyn got 1.6 inches. And in Nassau County on the North Shore, 1.5 inches in Manassas Hills. Elmont got 0.9 inches, and Farmingdale got 0.3 inches. The South Shore basically got nothing, but my area got like a coating. I'll show you in a minute. Central Park got 1 inch. Orange County by Highlands Mills, 5.5 inches. That's in the Hudson Valley, upstate. 1.4 inches at LaGuardia. JFK got 0.6, so you can see the difference between the North Shore and the South Shore. Rockland County got 4 inches. Croton on Hudson got 3.5 inches. But no amounts from Suffolk County. Suffolk really didn't get anything, but I'll show you what it looks like out there tonight. And it's kind of slippery, too, because we have this very wet, icy snow that's making it kind of slippery. But you can see we have calm winds, and so we got moist conditions out there. So there's a bit of a ground fog developing. You can see a little bit of it right there. So we'll have to see how that all pans out. But I think we'll have more clouds on the increase, so it should probably put on a lid on any radiational cooling that we have. Let's go to the radar. So I'll show you the storm that we're looking at here. So you can see here, this is the storm right here in the Gulf. So this is the storm that's going to come and then redevelop off the coast tomorrow. So let's take a look at what we got. Winter weather advisories posted for most of Long Island, not the Jersey Shore. They might need to be extended over that area. You see temperatures have dropped into the 20s in the colder locations. Even walking through Garden City, it was quite chilly. Of course, it is 28 at Islip, 25 at West Hampton, and 32 in Central Park. Of course, my alley is more like waffling between 37 and 40. So let's take a look and see what our high temperatures were today, and we'll just go over the high temperatures. We could get to the mid-40s. It was pretty warm, and then that snow came down. There was some pretty big flakes when it came down, but because the temperatures were warm, it really had trouble accumulating. So let's go to the models now and go over all the different models that we have here to take a look at this storm that we have. And we're going to first start with the HRRR model, all right? And before I show you the radar simulation, we're going to go and look at the dew points and wind flow, because tonight we have a very light west wind. At least that means I don't have to breathe in furnace exhaust, and that the dew points are below freezing, but they do go above freezing for tomorrow in the afternoon when the wind shift to the east. So that's the issue that we're going to have fighting this snowfall as far as getting it to accumulate with these dew points above freezing. You generally need dew points below freezing to get accumulation, but I think once we get toward that tail end, it's almost like the storm's going to have like the parting shot, and that's when you're going to get the accumulation. When those temperatures start dropping, that's when we're going to see the snow start accumulating. You can see those dew points dropping into the 20s once we get toward after 9 o'clock or so. So that is when we're going to see that accumulation, I think, at that time. Now, if we look at our temperatures, you'll see temperatures they start in the morning below freezing, but then they go above freezing for most of the day. And it's not until you get toward after 7, 8 o'clock that they're going to start dropping below freezing. And that's when I think we're going to see the snow fall accumulate, possibly on roadways too, I think, as well. And I think... So this is what the HRRR temperature profile, and I tend to agree with what the HRRR is showing. So let's go to the map now, and you'll see what happens. So we see a light mix of light snow and light rain break out in the morning, very wet, A little bit of a break in the early afternoon. There'll be a break. There might be some sucky drizzle, and then it starts as light rain again toward like after 4 or 5 o'clock and drizzle. Then it makes the changes over to snow. So as you get towards 7, 8 o'clock, and that's when we're going to have, I would say, between 7 o'clock and say 10 o'clock. That's when we're going to see snowfall occurring. All right, and that's when it will accumulate, and perhaps even a little more for northeast Suffolk. So you can see the storm is not that tight. It's not as tight as it was. That's why it's almost like if it was tighter, I think it would have been stronger storm would have been tighter. We would have actually seen less. But because it's a larger storm, there's two individual pieces of energy coming through. That is why we're seeing what we're seeing here. So let's take a look at the total snowfall, and you'll see it's showing that some areas, particularly you see that little pink area, that could be touching 4 inches right there. North Shore, Suffolk County, North Shore, Nassau County, perhaps partial. Most of Long Island will probably be around that 2-3 inch mark. And then as you go south and west, the numbers go down. So as you go into Ocean County, it's less. So that's what it's looking like right now. And nobody's really going to see a big snow from this. Not even doesn't even look like even Boston. They might get closer to 5 or 6 inches. But no need for any winter storm warnings unless you're all the way in Nova Scotia, where it looks like they're going to get pounded. But other than that, it doesn't look like that bad. But the problem is it's going to be a wet snow, just like we've always had, it seems like. And so that's going to make it icy, and that's the problem. So you can see we could have a half-inch of liquid equivalent, particularly eastern Suffolk County over here, right? This is the HRRR model here. Do we get the FGen? I don't think we get the FGen on this. We don't get the FGen. So let's go to the NAM next. And I'm going to go, because this has the FGen on it. So I'm going to just look at this and see what we got here. So there are some decent areas. There's one area coming through in the morning, and then another area. Doesn't look terribly impressive, but you see it there. All right. So let's go to the NAM here. Go through 3 different models on this run, on this up video. So here's the NAM. You can see it starts there's like a little bit of snow in the morning, and then it kind of goes over to rain, and it could be sucky drizzle in there as well. It's not going to be nice to be outside tomorrow. And then as we get toward the evening, that's when we start seeing that changeover now. It's going later and slower. So originally we thought it would dry out in the evening. You'd see right around 7, 8 o'clock. That's when you have some snow, and it could be moderate, maybe even occasionally heavy snow. According to this, but the temperatures are borderline. That's the only reason why it's not going to be as much as it could be. But still, let's see what the NAM has. Then generally similar to the HRRR. So that's what the NAM is showing as well. And it's going to be, the temperatures again are very borderline. So it's going to be very wet out tomorrow. It's not going to be like the kind of snow you can walk in and brush it off. It's going to make you very wet. It's going to be like a rainy day tomorrow. So you might want to be stuck inside tomorrow because of it. Now we got that model. Let's go to the HRDPS, which not sure if we have the full 0Z running. Yeah, it doesn't go all the way out. We'd have to use the 18Z run. So this is the 18Z run. You can see similar idea here. This is the HRRR. You can see similar idea. All right. So let's show you the snowfall map. Let's go to the snowfall map that I drew out. So here it is. This is what I think is going to be happening tomorrow. So coating. So most of New Jersey, except for the northeastern part of Monmouth County, I think a coating to 2 inches. And then as you get over New York City, the southwestern Connecticut, Nassau County, maybe parts of southwest Suffolk, 1 to 3 inches. And then I think this area, like North Shore of Suffolk County, say anywhere between Smithtown and Riverhead, I think you're looking at closer to 2 to 4 inches. So that's my thoughts on this storm. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it won't wind up being more than that, because unfortunately it is going to be a wet snow, and with the cold temperatures, it's not going to be going anywhere. It means you can deal with ice, and of course, if it's a lot of snow, it means it makes it a pain to hike in the Pine Barrens. So if it's just an inch or two, not too bad. But if it winds up being closer to 4 inches, yeah, that could be a problem. It looks like, again, best bet hopefully New Jersey at least will have very little. So we'll have to see what happens in this storm here. But this is what most of the models are showing right now. So it tends to be an agreement in what's going to be happening here with this storm. So I think those are all the models I have for you to show. So I'm not going to use any of the global models for this storm. I mean, we can go to windy.com just for the heck of it. We will. It won't be that windy during this storm either, so wind will not be an issue. Go right through tomorrow night. You don't see that much wind here. It's only single-digit wind speeds. So wind will not be an issue. But let's go and look at the snowfall on here, and then I'll end this video. So let's go to new snow, and we'll see what this shows. So from now till tomorrow night. So this is what it's showing. So a little more toward the higher end of this. So I'll have to see. There will be a drop-off somewhere in Jersey, but it all depends on where. This is the European, so its resolution's not going to be super high. Kind of interesting. Let's see. We're going to have some more models here to show. See, you show the HRRR. So this is the HRRR. You can see those higher amounts toward there. So that's the HRRR. We could also look at the NAM as well. So this gives us a little closer of a view. You could see, generally speaking, I think the hardest hit areas are going to be northeast and Suffolk County. All right. Though it does have the Hamptons. I think there might be a little more of an ocean influence there that might keep temperatures down, which is why I kind of had that 2 to 4 just kind of skip over the South Fork. But it might have to be extended over to the South Fork or not. But that's what it's looking like right now. So more snowfall, and then tomorrow night we'll talk about the Arctic cold that's coming for the following week. So the snow probably won't be going anywhere, at least for a couple of days. So, and the problem is, again, it's a wet snow, so it's going to be icy, and that's what I hate. Powdery snow, much easier to deal with, but unfortunately, like we always seem to get, powder is like, we never get powder anymore. It seems very rare. But we'll see. We'll have more opportunities for snow in the longer range. Maybe that'll be different. So anyway, have a good night.